Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. It's Monday, right? We're here, so it has to be Monday. Give me a shout out in the chat if you can hear me. I know you can see me. We are figuring out our setup here with our spacing. So I'm sure you're used to trying to shuffle everything around every week because I still haven't figured my damn shit out yet. So anyway, we have a butt class tonight. So everyone loves butt stuff. And if you don't love butt stuff yet, you will, because strong glutes are really, really hot. And they're really, really hot because they're really, really important for stabilizing these guys. And nobody likes growing into knee pain as we age. So one of the ways that we can avoid that is by having a strong booty. Anyone who doesn't know me, my name's Elliot. I'm the founder of this project here, the TG-ENBY project. I'm a personal trainer in Los Angeles at a gym called Everybody Los Angeles, which if you're not following them, you should definitely go over and follow them and get in on lots of other queer body positive fitness and wellness content. So we're gonna start off with some standing joint mobility, getting all of our joints ready to work, getting them warm and well lubricated. We're gonna do some hip mobility. Since we're gonna be working the glutes, we wanna make sure that we pay extra attention to the hips and get the hips ready for the work that we're gonna do. And then our warm-up's gonna be you learning the movements. I'm gonna teach you the movements. We're gonna do one set of them, and then we're gonna go into the full workout, which will be all the movements that you learned in the warm-up. So hopefully you'll feel nice and prepared for this. I do keep an eye on the chat over here. I hope that I just gestured in the direction that the chat thing actually is for y'all. And so if you have any questions or something comes up for you, please feel free to put it in there and I will answer your questions and clarify anything that needs clarification. Before we get started too, I wanna make sure we give a big shout out to Folklore Salon and Barber for use of this space. So thank you, Folklore, for always being so generous and letting the community utilize your space. So let's begin. So standing joint mobility. We're gonna be standing. I like to work in soft feet or with bare feet, but you please work however you like. And we're gonna start at the top of the body and go down to the bottom. So starting with the head, we're gonna shrug and press your shoulders down and shrug up towards the ears and press them down away from the ears. One more time, shrug and down. We're gonna turn those shrugs into a circle. So shrug and then pull your shoulders together and then press them down, sliding them down your spine. So just work through whatever pace feels good for you for these shrugs to start. Rolls, and then other way, so you're gonna squeeze them together at the bottom, bring them up to the top and separate and press down. Shoulder rolls I do every single day. Loosen up the shoulders and the neck. Tilt your ear towards your shoulder, pressing both shoulders down away from your ears. And switch. And switch. And switch. And then you're gonna bring chin to chest, elongating the back of the neck. And chin to ceiling. Keep your teeth closed lightly together. Feel the lengthening in the neck. And chin to chest. And up to the ceiling. And then turn that into a roll, hitting all four of the landmarks that were just established. Ear to shoulder, chin to chest, chin to ceiling. And other way. Nice work. I'm going to make light fists here. We're not death grip, just light. And draw circles with your knuckles. So you can see up close here. Nice light hands. Making my circles as big as I can, as it feels comfortable. And the other direction. Nice work, y'all. Elbows. So bring your hands to your shoulders and draw nice big circles with your elbows. I think a lot of times we forget about mobilizing our shoulders, and shoulders really other direction. Shoulders are really prone to injury just because the joint moves in so many planes. And hands to your hips, we're going to draw nice big circles with the tailbone. Use your booty to drive your hips around. And change directions. Beautiful work. Keep breathing. Connect to your breath right now. Just start to bring awareness to it. You're going to balance on one foot, soft little baby bend in that knee, and lateral swings. Only going as high as you can maintain your stability, only going as fast as you can maintain your stability. Brace your core, that's going to help stabilize your torso. And it's totally okay to swing your arms to counter the leg moving. And switch sides, soft little baby bend and lateral swings. Got this. Just prepping the joints right now. Now, anyone who played hacky sack in the 90s, this movement, making a pendulum with the foot. But if you think about hacky sack, that'll help you kind of get a feel for what that movement looks like, what it would feel like. I have no hard time with my stability on that one. There it is. And switch sides, soft little bend. Now listen to your body this evening during your practice, and if anything feels off, listen to it. I personally have been having a little twinge in this left knee, so I'm going to be paying attention to that. All right, you're going to get foot circles. I'm just picking this up this high so you can see my foot because of my dark sock against the dark mat. You don't have to lift it this high. I'm making circles with the ball of the foot and change directions. So you'll see I have a chair here. You're going to want a chair, or your couch works just fine. Other foot. Something to sit on an ottoman works well. And if it's too low, you can always add some more cushions. Pull a couch cushion off and add to it, or put some pillows down. Other way, if you haven't changed directions yet. All right, we're going to get some hip mobility. Now I'm going to bring the camera angle down. So I'm going to come down to the ground, down to your mat if you have one. We're going to start by stepping the right foot up by the right hand, and then with the right knee, you're going to draw circles. Okay, so driving it forward, pressing it out, and then pulling it back. Very nice. You should be feeling some stretching happening maybe in your hamstring, in your groin. Just observe where your body feels tight, where it might need a little more attention. And other way. Got this. I love hip mobility. And switch sides. So bring that foot down. You're going to bring the other foot up and draw your circles. Pushing it forward, out, and then pulling it back. Connect with your core, connect with your breathing, and other direction. Got this. Observe what's happening with your toes. If your toes are grabbing onto the mat, just lift them up and set them down and relax them. We're going to come into a deep squat now, so you can either tent your hands and step that other foot up into a deep squat if you have the mobility for that. If you don't, it's okay to just come up to standing and then find wherever your deep squat is. Maybe it's here. It doesn't have to be all the way down here if this isn't where you are yet. We're just going to hang out in wherever that deep squat is for you. And we want to work on getting a nice deep dorsiflexion in the foot. That's when the foot's coming more towards the shin. We're decreasing the angle in the front of the ankle. And then from wherever you are in that deep squat, place your fingers underneath your toes or on your shins. And you're going to lift your hips up, straighten out your legs, and look behind you. And then drop your hips back down and pick your chest up back into whatever your deep squat is. And then exhale, lift your hips, straighten out your legs, and then bring your hips back down, gaze up. Look behind you, and look in front of you. We're going to do 2 more of these. Look behind you, and look in front of you. All right, so let's get another one of my favorite hip mobility movements, positions, parties, whatever we want to call it, and that's a shin box. So it's like we're making double sevens. So I like to start with my tight side first. That's my right side, so I have my right foot coming to the back. Keeping my feet flexed, I'm going to go ahead and take these dark socks off so that you can see the angles in my ankles a little bit better. So shin box here, got sock lint on my feet. It's just that kind of Monday. And I'm keeping my foot flexed, so I got a right angle here. Sitting nice and tall, really working on getting that right hip down towards the mat. Extend your arms, and we're going to start just switching sides. So keeping your feet where they are, we're going to pick the knees up and then rotate to the other side. So if you need a little more support, you can put your hands behind you and then rotate this way. So exhale, use your belly to switch side to side. Let's go 3 more in each direction. 3, 3, 2, and it's okay if you're kind of moving and scooting a little, that's normal. 2, you can just adjust if you need to. And 1, and 1. All right, so now we're gonna post up and we're gonna work all one side for a few rounds, and then we'll work on putting those 2 together. So this is your Frankenstein arms. You're gonna exhale, squeeze your butt, lean forward slightly, and then post up to get nice and fully extended in your hips. Now to come back down, you're gonna reach your hips back and try and come down with slow, smooth fluidity. So that's 1, and then back up, exhale, 2, and 1 more on this side, 3, reach your hips back, set it down slow and smooth. It's normal when you're first learning this, if those last 2 inches are a little clunky, you just kind of go, it'll get smoother as you practice more, so just keep practicing. So let's switch sides now, whatever method you were utilizing to switch sides, and do that same movement on the other side. So if you started on your tighter side, you should notice that this side's a little bit easier, a little bit smoother. 2, 3, we're gonna alternate now, so switch sides, post up, exhale, down smooth, and then switch sides again. And that's 1 on each side. We're gonna get 2 more each side. Exhale, keeping my feet flexed. And exhale. Good, and 1 more each side. Exhale. And exhale. Beautiful work, y'all. Got a comment here, let's see. I don't understand how your legs do that. Okay. Are you talking about the transition, Theo, from going from side to side? I'll give you a moment to respond there. If you're, I'll go ahead and demo that again, just so you can see. If you're talking about the switching side to side, like the windshield wiper, think about your feet staying where they are, okay? And then first, just pick up your knees. I was definitely not able to get the transition right. That's totally okay. That transition is not super easy. A good variation for that as you're learning it is to just lean back and put your hands behind you to support your torso, and then windshield wiper them to the other side. So if your hips are a little stiff, this might be a little more challenging for you. and it's totally okay to not do the transitioning and posting up and just work on getting the mobility to shift your knees from side to side. That inversion of the leg bone and the hip where it's twisting towards the midline of the body can be really challenging if you're first starting off in it. So just pick which part of the movement you feel like you need to work in, and if you feel like you need to stay there, that's totally fine. We are going to come into instructing the movements now, and this is going to act as our warm-up. So I'm going to teach you each movement, and we're going to do a set of it, and then we'll shift into doing the actual workout. So our first movement is a sumo squat. Switch the, yeah, oh, okay, I see. Yeah, so if you were trying to mirror, it could get confusing. Our first movement is a sumo squat with a tuck at the top. So that tuck is going to be tucking the tailbone down and forward and like really squeezing the butt. We're getting a little extra squeeze in the glutes. So for your sumo squat, your foot setup is going to be wider than your hips. I'll go ahead and give you this view here. So you're going to be stepping wide, and if you need to step even wider, that's okay. Now, right now, my feet are pointing forward, and I'm going to toe out. So I'm not coming all the way like I'm doing ballet, and I'm not all the way forward. I'm somewhere in the middle, right? So that's your foot positioning. And we want to try and keep the chest up and open for a sumo squat. You're going to reach the hips back like you're trying to sit in a chair. And you're really going to think about pressing your knees back, almost like you're trying to touch the wall behind you. That's going to help you get a good squeeze in your booty. See how my chest is still up? And then I'm going to squeeze my butt to drive my pelvis up and forward. And I'm going to give it a good tuck at the top. So from the side, so you can understand these angles a little bit better, I'm reaching my hips back. And if you can't get this low, that's okay. And I'm trying to reach my knees like I'm trying to touch the wall behind me, trying to rip the earth apart with my feet. And then I'm going to squeeze my butt to drive my pelvis up and forward. And then when I get to the top, a little bit of a tuck there. So from here, go ahead and let your tailbone flick up and then squeeze and press down and forward. So this is your tuck at the top. All right, so let's work through 10 of these just to practice. I'm going to give you the side view for these. Go ahead and reach your hips back, try to rip the ground apart, squeeze your butt, and tuck. 1, and then release your hips to come back again. 2, 3, please, please, please move at your own pace. 4, from the front. 5, I'm trying to sit evenly in my legs. 6, 7, 3 more. 3, notice my knees dipped in a little bit on that one, so I'm going to think about ripping the ground apart again. 1 more, and tuck. Awesome work. All right, so the next movement in this series is a donkey kick. We're going to come down to our hands and knees for this one. And the flexed foot's really important here. So we're going to pick the foot up and then press, like we're trying to touch the ceiling with the heel. So see how I still have a right angle in my knee and a right angle in my foot. And I'm keeping my hips square with the ground. So if this hip lifts up, then that's your indication to just rotate your pelvis. And it does help to keep your gaze down on the ground. Okay, and then you're just going to release that, and then exhale, press again. So I'm pressing with my heel. Let's go for 8 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold it right here, and now we're going to pulse for 8. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to do the other side. Really try to find your glutes. Spend some time playing with your ankles and finding where you're really feeling your booty get more. So let's come 8 on the other side. 1, pressing through the heel. 2, Squeeze your butt and squeeze the back of your spine. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold. And we're gonna pulse. 1, 2, check your foot. 3, 4, make sure it's flexed. 6, 7, and 8. So there's your donkey kick with a pulse at the end. All right, so now we're gonna use that chair or couch or ottoman, stool, whatever you have access to. And we're gonna do a single leg get up. So this is a variation of a single leg squat, and single leg movements are really great for developing glute strength. That's part of what your glute does is works to stabilize the body when you're only on one foot, which is a majority of the time. When we're walking, we spend almost all of our time on one foot, not on both of them. All right, you're gonna start in a seated position, just because it's a good place to start. It's nice and safe and stable. And you're gonna keep both feet on the ground, and you're gonna stand up. So we're gonna be working what's called the eccentric action of the muscle, meaning while it's lengthening. So you're gonna extend one foot in front of you with the foot flexed, reach your hips back, and sit down. So this is the side where I'm having trouble with my knee. So this side's gonna be a little bit dodgy. It's okay if you need to put your heel down. Then you're gonna stand up with both feet, and then we're gonna use one leg to come down. And then put both feet and stand up, right? Now it's totally fine if you need to kickstand that heel and have a little more support, right? So let's work through 5 more on this leg from wherever you are. I always choose to start on my less strong side. So you can see that wobble in there from that knee being a little off. Let's go 2 more. 1. Keep that other foot flexed. If you have it elevated, it will help a lot with creating stability in your hips. I apologize for that awful screeching sound. All right, other side. And reaching the hips back. So right side is my stronger side. 1. The dog is not happy about the screeching chair. 2. 3, 2 more. I'm gonna put a towel down under this thing. And last one. 1. Good. All right. So we have more single leg work. Boy, howdy. So the next one is a single leg deadlift. You'll also hear this called a single leg Romanian deadlift. It doesn't really matter what you call it. There's a few different variations for this. Now, with the foot elevated when we're working, that's what makes this a Romanian deadlift. If you have good stability, then you can bring this up to balance and just stay on one leg the whole time. If you have a little harder time with your stability, it's clear if you're coming here. Now I'm reaching with that heel again, keeping my hips square and my shoulder blades pulled back, soft bend in the knee. If floating that back foot is not where you are yet, come from this side, you can just simply pick the heel up and you can work through your hinge this way, and you're still going to get a good concentration of the work in the other glute. So I'm reaching as though somebody has my hips in a vise and they're pulling my hips back, or like you're trying to touch the wall behind you with the sits bones, that little bony ridge in your glute. So let's work through 8 on your first side. And just go as deep as feels okay for you right now. 1. It's okay if maybe you're reaching not to the back and touching the ground. Whatever you need, whatever pace feels good for you. 4, 5, 6. Stay nice and long in the spine. 7. Maybe you want to use your couch or your chair as a touch point. And 8, other side. So demonstrate this other leg here using the chair or piece of furniture, maybe it's the back of your couch, as a point to have contact with. For some folks, that makes this a little more accessible. Whatever you need, you make your own rules for this movement. We've got 4 more. 4, 3, your square hips. 2, last one. And 1. Awesome work. All right, we have plyometric work now, or dynamic work. So plyometrics tend to involve jumping. If jumping isn't good for your joints, then you just take that dynamic portion out. So I'll show you a couple of variations of that, and you go with whichever one feels right for you. So a skater is pretending like you're that speed skater, that Olympic speed skater, all right? So you're starting in your stride, and you're gonna drive off of your bent knee to land on your other leg and reach for your next stride. So if you wanna take this deeper, you can add a touch. If that feels good for you. If it doesn't, then take it out. Alternately, maybe you're just here, all right? This is okay too. Or maybe it's a step. So all of these variations are totally fine, and we're happy with whatever you can do. We're gonna do 30 seconds as our warm-up on this one. In the actual workout, we're gonna be doing a minute. So set yourself up for whichever variation you wanna work on. And it's okay if you change to a different variation partway through. For 30 seconds, 3, 2, and begin. Landing and reaching. Or maybe you're touching the ground and getting a little bit deeper in that hip. Whichever one. There we go. My balance this evening is on the dodgy side. That's okay. Sometimes we have good days with this stuff, and some days we don't. We're just happy with wherever the body is today. And that's your 30 seconds. So go ahead and get yourself some water. Take a moment. We're gonna start the workout portion. So we're gonna do all of those movements. I'm gonna put a towel down, or maybe 2 on this old, squeaky, rickety chair, so that you don't have to listen to it go, wah, wah. There we go. All right. We're running a professional operation here, y'all. So we're gonna be working through 15 reps of the sumo with the tuck. We're gonna work through 15 on each side of the donkey kick with a pulse at the end. We're gonna work on 8 on each leg of that single leg get up. And we're gonna work on 8 on each leg of the deadlift, the single leg deadlift. And then your skater is gonna be for 60 seconds. So I hope you're ready. I'm really excited. I love these glute workouts. So make sure you have whatever you need to feel like you're ready for this. And we'll go ahead and begin. So if my pace is too fast, please feel free to slow it down. If my pace is too slow, then by all means, step it up a little bit. Remember, this is just about your pace. We're gonna start with the sumo, so we're wider, the hips width apart, slightly toed out, and we're gonna get 15. So go ahead and begin. Inhale on the way down, squeeze and tuck. So we're getting that little extra squeeze to make sure that we're being fully extended in the front of the hips and the hip flexors. We don't want to be dipping into the low back, so we don't want to be going too far back. And 7, 8, 9, rip the ground apart with your feet. 10, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing it down for the donkey kick next. Hands and knees, press through the heel. 1, 2, 3, 4. Find that glute contraction. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You got 5 more. Press through your heel. 5. Keep your hips square. 4, 3, 2. Hold it and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. So other foot pressing with the heel. 1. Keep that right angle. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 6, 7. You're doing great. You got this. 8. Just remember to breathe. 9. Squeeze your butt. 10. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold and pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful work. Let's come back to standing. And we're going to work through that single leg get up. So we're sitting to start. We're going to use both feet to stand up. And then single leg, reach your hips back to come down. Slow and controlled. There's 1. Then back up. And then slow, slow, slow. Tight belly. 2, 3, 4. Good. It's okay to not be good at this to start. It will get smoother the more you practice. 3 more. 3. If whatever you're sitting on is too low, take some time and just grab another cushion for yourself and raise your seat up a bit. Good. Or maybe you're just at a point where you're just working on both legs for the whole set. That's okay too. Doing other side. 1. These towels didn't do a lot, huh? 2, 3, 4. So this is, like I said, the eccentric action of the muscle. We're doing that work while the muscle's lengthening versus when it's shortening. We've got 2 more. When it's shortening, that's the contraction or the concentric action. The eccentric action builds a lot of strength. All right, single leg deadlift. So you're either lifting one heel or you're sending that leg back. You're reaching the hips back and squeeze your booty. 1, reach it back and squeeze. Tight belly is really important. 3, 4, maybe you're working in here. 5, 3 more. There's 3, reach, squeeze that butt cheek. 2, and 1, other side, reach, and 1. 2, maybe you're stopping in the middle here. 3, 4, and if you've got the heel raised, this variation. 3 more, reach and squeeze. 3, reach and squeeze. 2, and 1. All right, skaters are next, so 60 seconds this time. It's gonna be a little bit longer, but you got this. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin. So we're bounding to the other side, working on keeping the toes pointing forward. Where it's totally okay to take the plyometrics or the jumping out of the movement. Maybe you live in an apartment and your neighbors won't appreciate you jumping around right now. So you can just make the dynamics a little less dynamic. We can't be extra all the time, right? Good. And keep breathing. This one will really get our heart rate back up. Always important to have some lateral movement in your exercise program. We don't spend a lot of time moving laterally throughout our day. A lot of us don't move laterally at all. Good, keep breathing. You're almost there, and time. Take 60 seconds of recovery. This is a good time to take some water, make any adjustments to your setup that you might need. And get anything else. I'm gonna get another towel here. So hopefully I can fix our chair situation. So maybe your senior recovery time looks like you doing some more mobility work or stretching something that was communicating to you during your work that it needs some attention. That's what this time is good for. Or maybe it just looks like you lying on the floor telling me how much you hate me, or petting your dog. So you did a good job. All right, our rest is almost done. You have about 10 seconds. So let's start to set ourselves up to come into our next set. Remember, that starts with the sumo squat and time. So set up your stance, reach your hips back, squeeze and tuck. Reach the hips back and tuck. 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe you're able to go a little bit lower on this one because your hips have loosened up a little bit, or just because you're a little bit warmer. Good. And 5, 4, tuck. Squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Bringing it down to the ground for the donkey kick. Hands and knees. Press through your heels, squeeze your butt. 1, 2. With your foot flexed, it's like you're trying to push the back of your thigh up to the ceiling. 8, 9, 10. We've got 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold and pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got the other leg. Flex your foot. Keep your hips square. 1, 2. Find your booty. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're doing awesome. You got this. 8, 9, 10. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2. Remember, you're going to hold on this one. Hold and pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Single leg, get up. Everyone's favorite. Let's see if we fix the issue of the squeaky chair. Maybe. All right. Extend. Sorry, you're extending up with both feet. Up, and then reach that foot. It's okay to put the heel down. 1, 2. And we're trying to be as slow as we can. So maybe that heel comes down partway through. That's all right. 4, 5. We're alleviating ourselves with the burden of having to be perfect. As you can see, I'm not even perfect. 2 more. 1. Push through your heel. 2. And we're going to switch sides now. So other leg. Hopefully you started on the less strong leg. And you're now working on the more strong leg. 2. Tight bellies, they help, I promise. 3. So brace it, whatever that looks like for you. 4, reaching your hips back will keep the work in your glutes versus your quad. 3 more. There's 3. Whoop, lost that one. 2. And push with the outside of the knee. And 1. All right, single leg deadlift, whichever variation you like. Or you can use your couch or your chair as a touch point. That's 1. Pushing through my heel. Nice square hips the whole time. 2. 3. Ooh, there it is. 4. 5. 6. Only 2 more. 1. And 2. We're going to get the other side. I'm going to use the chair if we were using, so people that are doing that variation can see it. 1, 2, 3. Sometimes just having that touch point can be a game changer for your stability. Your brain know that you've got some support there. 3 more. That's 3. 2. And 1. All right. Let's get another set of 60 seconds of skaters. Remember, we're setting up first. And let's get our minute set up for 3, 2, and start working. And remember when I was first learning this movement, I hated it. Now I love it. So I tend to find with migraine, the movements I hate, I usually hate them because I'm not very good at them. But then as I get better, I start liking it more and more. So the lesson I take from that is that if I don't like it, if I practice it, then I'll start to like it. So try not to shirk away from the things that you don't enjoy as much. Pepper them in here and there, and see if you can build up your skill on it. See if it starts to turn into something that you do enjoy doing. Nice work, y'all. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful work. 60 seconds of recovery. Take your water, wipe your sweat, adjust anything, pet your dog, say hi to your partner. You're doing awesome. I'm so proud of all of you. Thank you so, so much for being here and being in community and moving together. I hope that everyone's having an okay week so far. It's just the beginning. We'll only get better from here, right? Whatever that means these days. All right, you have about 15 seconds left. So start to get yourself situated for your sumo. Remember your sumo, we're setting up a little bit wider than the hips, slightly toed out, maybe this from the side. I want you to really pay attention to the pelvis here. And there's our time. So reach the pelvis back, squeeze the butt, and then tuck it at the top. So we're releasing it, squeeze, and tuck. 2, 3, good. Rip the ground apart with your feet. Feel how that activates your glutes. And 5, gazes up and forward. 6, this is the last time that we're doing this. This is our last set. So make each one of these just as good as the first one that you did. Remember, last one is the best one. We're putting equal amounts of attention and effort as we did in our first set. 3 more. Gazes up and forward, chest is open. 3, 2, and 1. Bring yourself down to the mat for your donkey kicks. Hands and knees. We're pressing through the heel. You're trying to touch the back of the thigh up to the ceiling. 2, 3, squeeze your booty. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You only have 5 more. You're doing great. You got this. 5, 4, 3, 2. We're going to hold on the last one. Hold and pulse. 10, 9, 8. Get that burn. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. Go right into it. 1, 2. Whatever side you're working on, try and keep that hip bone pointed at the ground. 5. Squeeze your butt. 6, 7, 8. Back of the thighs going towards the ceiling. 9, 10, and 5, 4, 3. You're going to hold on the last one. 2, 1. Hold and pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. You got this. All right, one more time with our single leg get-ups. It's actually a single leg sit down since we're doing the eccentric action, but you know, we're not going to split hairs. So starting seated, just so we can orient ourselves with the chair. Stand, and then on your less strong side first, come down as slow as you can control. 1, 2. We only have 8 on each side in this one. Heels coming down for that one. 3. It's a little more challenging as we get a little more tired. 4. So that's where we really want to make sure that we're paying attention to our form. These last reps that we do are the ones that your brain's really going to pattern for remembering this movement pattern. Good. 2 more. So that's why it's so important to make sure that we have good attention to detail on these ones. And let's switch sides. So other foot comes up, and I'm flexing, pressing through that heel. 1, reaching your hips back, trying to keep your chest upright and open. We're always proud-chested, as much as we can be. 4, breathe. Y'all got this. 5. On those ones where you feel a little wobbly, just check in. 2 more and see if maybe there's something different happening. Maybe you're not bracing your belly. Maybe you could be squeezing the shoulder blades together. Woo. All right, there's 8 of those. Now we've got the deadlifts. Let's bring our camera angle up a little bit for y'all. All right, nice open chest. And we're like that little bird toy. And 1. Little tiny, I don't remember what they're called. If anyone knows what they're called, let me know. That bird that dips its beak down in a glass of water. Maybe I'm just old. Got 3 more on this side. 3. There we go. There's the 4. 2. Last one. And switch sides. Got this. You can do this. You're almost there. Engage the shoulder blades. Really important for deadlifts to keep the shoulder blades pulled together. Squeeze them together like you're trying to hold a quarter between them. And squeeze your butt. 3. 4. Maybe you're in this variation. Pelvis slides back. And then squeeze your butt. 3 more. 3. 2. Your hips are what's important here, not the depth of the chest. And 1. All right, last skater. You're doing amazing. Setting it up. We're going to get ready to start in 3, 2, 1, and begin. Either leaping or stepping. Maybe we're reaching down to touch a little bit lower. I'm not going all the way down to the ground tonight because I'm not gonna risk injuring that delicate knee. There we go. So maybe you're just here. This is okay too, and then so is this, okay? Stepping is just as good, and it will get you into this eventually. We just have to make sure that we're working in the variation that's suitable for where we are in our practice today. I would love to be touching the ground right now, but that's just not what my body's gonna let me do today. So I'll be like, all right, body, you know what's up. I'll listen to you. This is an ego-free zone. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent work. Whew. All right, that hard portion is done. Now we get to get into some cool down. Now, cool down is where we put our static stretching. Static stretching is when you're holding a position for 30 seconds or longer. 30 seconds tends to be the sweet spot. The reason we do this static stretching at the end is because all the tissue is warm, so it's gonna be able to stretch further, and we're also going to be able to elicit a more permanent change or a more permanent adaptation in the tissue if we consistently stretch it when it's warm versus when it's cold, because its capacity to stretch, its extensibility is compromised when it's cold. So I'm going to adjust this for you. Bring her in a little bit closer. And we're going to get down on the ground. Okay, so we spent a lot of time in our hamstrings. We spent a lot of time in our hips. So those are the areas that we want to focus on in our static stretching. Now, I do tend to have some neck stuff in there as well, just as on a regular basis, just because we carry a lot of tension there when we're stressed out. This is a really stressful time. So, all right, if you had your legs out directly in front of you, I'm going to start with the right leg, right? I'm going to bring that leg out maybe about 15 degrees and pull the sole of my left foot to the inside of my thigh. Keep your foot flexed. Find your sternum, that's the center of your chest, and then turn it so it's oriented towards your knee. And then from here, you're going to sit and reach, that good old-fashioned junior high, what is it, the presidential test, the sit and reach. And if you can grab your toes, that's great. If you can't grab your toes, you can grab your shin or your thigh. What we're looking for, we're seeking out that stretching sensation in the hamstrings. Those are the muscles in the back of the thigh. Now, I want you to squeeze the top of your thigh. So contract those muscles, and it's like you're trying to shove the back of your leg down through the earth. That's going to help the hamstrings release even more. Now from here, we're going to stretch a muscle called the QL. That's in the low back. We're going to reach the left arm up and bring our gaze up to the left arm. And just feel that nice elongation in the side body. The more you pull on this foot as you reach actively up towards the ceiling, the more release that you'll get in the QL. And then bring it back to sternum towards knee for your hamstring. Wherever you're grabbing, whether it's the shin, the calf, the thigh, we're working on keeping the chest as square as we can. And release. Come upright, and we're going to switch legs. So left leg is going to go out about 15 degrees. Right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Sternum, okay, center of the chest, orient it towards the knee. And then with your foot flexed, reach for your toes or your shin. And pull on your foot if you can. Remember, squeeze the quads. That's the top of your thigh. And it's like you're trying to press your calf down into the ground. And then reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Bring your gaze to your top hand. And tight belly. Pull on your foot as you reach actively up towards the ceiling. lengthening the QL right down here on the side of your low back. And then bring it back to center. And your hamstrings say, thank you. All right, let's get a nice little hip stretch, hip glute stretch. Let's keep the left leg extended since that's where we are. And we're just gonna pick up the right foot and place the ankle across the top of the left thigh. I'm keeping my right foot flexed so that a nice 90-degree angle here in my ankle. I'm gonna lean back and support my torso and drive my left heel towards my butt. And so only go as deep as feels okay for you right now. The closer your heel gets to your butt, the deeper the stretch is going to be. For some folks, just being right here is plenty deep. For some folks, here is really, really deep. And some of you are going to be just completely folded up on yourself like a nice tiny little book. All right? Keep this foot flexed. We're going to hold here for about 30 seconds. And then we're going to do a little flossing technique to take it a little deeper. So you can actively press your right knee away from your chest. And that you should find takes it, starts a little bit deeper into the side of your hip, inside of your glute. Once we've been here for about 30 seconds and we have a good release in the hip, we're just going to start to rock the hip like a little baby. If it feels good, press your shoulders down out of your ears. If this rocking doesn't feel good for you, then don't do it. If the pressure feels too intense, release some of the pressure. That flexed foot is a really important component here that's protecting our knee. This is sometimes called an inverted pigeon. In yoga, this leg position when we're on the ground is pigeon. And release that. Let's do the other side. So extend your right leg, cross your left ankle over the top of your right thigh, and then drive your heel in and maybe scoot your booty closer. Make any adjustments that you feel like you need. I'm keeping my foot flexed. I'll turn this way so you can see this angle. That flexed foot. Here comes my jaw. Hi, baby. Say hello to everyone. Good. Press your knee actively away from your chest. And then rock your leg. And breathe. Just be grateful to yourself for the time and the effort that you've put into your physical well-being. Exercising is a really fantastic way to inhibit stress hormones, to relieve anxiety, to help your body get rid of toxins through sweat and respiration. Just release that when you're ready. And helps with all sorts of things. So I'm really, really grateful to you for joining me here. Next week, I am taking Monday off, so there will not be any class next week. There is a backlog of classes on the YouTube channel in the past classes playlist. So you can anytime go there and get access to a free class. Thank you, Ari. I'm like I say, I'm always happy that you're here. If you feel inclined to tip me, you can tip me via Venmo at WERKOUT workout. And this month, all of my tips from these classes will be donated to Black Lives Matter Los Angeles and to help with the important work that they're doing for to abolish racism and police brutality. So it's very important work that they're doing, and really grateful to be able to contribute even a little bit to that work. So thank you, KR. Always happy to see you too. And like I said, next week, no class. So the first workout I've done since lockdown started, I'm done now. Also killed my roommate, but she'll be fine. Thank you, Theo. That's awesome. I love it when folks work out together. So, if this felt hard for you, any of you, then I encourage you to just, little by little work it and do it at a pace that feels good for you. And, don't feel pressured to make what your practice look like everyone else's practice. Your practice is your practice, and it's beautiful just the way it is. So thank you, each and every one of you, for joining me, and I will see you in a couple weeks, and hopefully in more peaceful times. So have a great week. Thanks, y'all.
You got it.